it is Sunday, the night before Spookathon starts, so I decided what better time to film and edit a video than the night before at like 5 o'clock. So, here is my overly ambitious Spookathon TBR, because I am a super picky reader, and I want to leave myself with plenty of options for the day-to-day when I decide what I'm trying to read. So, for those unfamiliar, Spookathon is, well, I'm assuming everyone who's watching this is familiar. So, I'm very excited. This is my first readathon I've ever done, and this is the first video I put up on my channel. So, what a good way to start than this random deep dive into booktube or whatever. So there are several challenges throughout the week. I got several books. Honestly, each challenge has 1 or 2 books picked out for it. So let's get started. So the first challenge, I don't know if I'm actually going to edit it. If so, I might put it here or wherever around me there is space if there's a spot. But the first challenge is a thriller. So I have a couple, one of which got Red Dragon picked out. It was actually a reread for me. But I started watching the Hannibal TV show a couple months back, and I thought it might be time to give it a reread, and what better time than Spookathon. And then I also, alternatively, for another one that fills the thriller challenge, is Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, which I think came out last year. I don't really know much about it, and honestly I kind of like to go into thrillers not knowing a ton about them. I just think that's sort of like, that way you don't accidentally spoil something, because when you're super familiar with the tropes, it spoils stuff. And then there is the challenge number 2, which is a book with purple on the cover, which I picked out the Book Buddy read, Trail in Trouble. I actually had this on my TBR like when it was announced. I'm super pumped to read it. I need to go through and like mark all the stories so that I can rate them as I go through. Then what was the next challenge? I have my little notepad. Then there was the time period one, which I'm kind of cheating. It doesn't actually matter. I'm kind of cheating. So I've got In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, which like is mostly in 1959, which is a different time period than currently 2018. It's true crime. I've not read it before, but I've heard a lot about it. As a crim major in college, we talked a lot. I mean, I was aware of it. So I'm super excited to either try this, or I also have another true crime, which I think this one, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which came out earlier this year, and was like super big and in the news, by Michelle McNamara. I think for the most part these murders took place in the 1980s, also a different time period from now. It looks super good, and I've had it sitting on my shelf for a couple months, and I'm super excited to check it out. Then there's a scary word, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, could also fit for that, dark. But what I'll probably end up reading, I'm super excited for this one, is The Supernatural Enhancements, Supernatural, by Edgar Cantero. It's his English debut. I've read everything else he's read. Meddling Kids, which is back on my shelf, which might be out of frame, and then which came out last year, and then his most current release, which came out like last month. This Body's Not Big Enough for the Both of Us, both excellent, highly recommend. I'm super excited to pick up his English debut, and I'm hoping it's just as excellent as the rest of them. It'll probably be the first book I read for the readathon. Super excited. I don't love this cover as much as the hardback cover, but it came out like 3-4 years ago, and it's impossible to find the hardcover anywhere. Kind of upset about that, but and that's actually, so those are those. And then for the final one, a book with pictures in it, I've got A Study in Emerald by Neil Gaiman, which is a graphic novel that I didn't know existed until the other day. I was in my local bookstore and saw it and picked it up, and it's like, Study in Emerald sounds familiar because it was Studying Scarlet. I think it's like a Cthulhu, like, sort of Lovecraftian take on A Study in Scarlet. Super excited to pick this up over the readathon also. And just sort of give it a, like, check it out and see if it's any good. That's like, did I go through them all? Yeah. So that's all the books I had set aside for my readathon. It's only 7 days and I work full time, but my first day off from my job is Monday, which is when the readathon starts. So hopefully I'll be able to get through a couple of these. Obviously, I don't anticipate getting through all of them, but I like to have options. I might pick up something that's not any of these. I just went to Barnes & Noble this afternoon, actually, and picked up a couple that could also fit some challenges. So we'll see what happens. Super excited to be participating. Super excited for all of these books. We'll see what ends up being picked up. Maybe I'll vlog. Maybe I won't. I don't know yet. Don't even know if this is going to go up yet. Guess we'll see. So, happy readathon, happy spookathon to all of you who may or may not be watching this. And that's all I got.